Mississippi Casino Magic coming up immediately. Oscar De La Hoya in a 10-round fight against Renaldo Little Red Carter out of Detroit, probably the toughest opponent for De La Hoya so far in his early professional career. And here now is a look at Renaldo Carter. He won the first 20 fights of his career, then floundered for a while after his previous manager, Johnny Ace, was gunned down in the Detroit gun battle. Carter has shifted around in weight class, fighting several times at 135 pounds and up at 140 pounds. He comes back down in weight a little bit for this match against Oscar De La Hoya. Maybe that's something that De La Hoya's handlers think will be an advantage for them this evening, Larry.
That's true, but one of the disadvantages of being a young fighter like De La Hoya is that his reputation already is so great that he becomes a target, so that an opponent like this knows that this is an opportunity, and he may get himself back to where he was when he was 20-0 and feel like this can revive his career.
Renaldo Little Red Carter has won 3 of his last 4 fights in getting to 27-4-1, the one loss, a hotly disputed split decision against Jose Vidal on April 22. He comes out of a hotbed of fighters, the tough streets of Detroit, Michigan, and early in his career looked like a title shot prospect. He may still have a chance at a title shot, but if and only if he wins tonight against the star of the 1992 American Olympic team. And now the golden boy of American boxing, Oscar De La Hoya, surrounded by managers and family members as he leaves his dressing room to enter the ring.
You know, there's a practice today of signing young, bright prospects very, very early in their careers, from Jennifer Capriati to Shaq O'Neal and to Oscar De La Hoya. It disturbs you a little bit, but the great athlete turns that pressure into a great opportunity. He doesn't let it hold him back.
In his early professional career, he's been, if anything, Larry, I think better than most people thought he would be coming out of the Olympics.
There were some skeptics at that time. I don't think there are any now.
De La Hoya carrying American and Mexican flags as he enters the ring, a tribute to his dual heritage. He comes, of course, from East Los Angeles, an almost entirely Mexican-American neighborhood where he is, quite logically, beloved. 8 wins so far in his career, 7 by knockout, the most recent a first-round destruction of former world champion and former world kickboxing champion Troy Dorsey on the undercard of Foreman Morrison in Las Vegas. He'll be fighting tonight at 132 pounds plus. Oscar's apparent target early in his career is a 130-pound world championship. Curious, because in his professional career, he's never been down to 130 yet. As an amateur, he fought at 132, and many people believe, Larry, yourself included, that it would be better to just go for a 135-pound lightweight champion.
Yeah, I don't get the point of weakening himself to fight a good fighter who a champion presumably would be.
Punch that numbers, Larry.
And here are the numbers. You can see they are similar, a little bit more accuracy for De La Hoya. Jabs also similar.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Oscar De La Hoya and Renaldo Carter will box tonight using the rules of the Mississippi State Athletic Commission. 10 rounds. The standing 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight. You can be saved by the bell in the last round only, and in case a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, and that cut causes the fight to be stopped, we go to the scorecards after 3 rounds have been completed. Before that, it's a technical draw. Jim.
Thank you, Harold. Right now, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Casino Magic here in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, where tonight Bob Arum and Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Mississippi State Athletic Commission, Chairman Mr. Billy Lyons. Commissioners in attendance, Jim Fagan and Fred Angelis. Ringside position, Dr. James Crittenden. The timekeeper is Lanny Taylor. Counting for the knockdown, Jerry Taylor. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the officials assigned at ringside as judges will be Elmo Adolph, Martin Casino, and Freddie Steinwinder. And when the bell rings, the official in charge of the action, referee Chester Como. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Casino Magic here in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, man your battle stations, 10 rounds of boxing in the junior lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with red trim, weighing in at 132 pounds even. He comes to us tonight from the Motor City of Detroit, Michigan. His professional record, 27 victories with 15 KOs. Only 4 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, Renaldo Little Red Carter. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with green trim, weighing in at 132 1/4 pounds. This 1992 Olympic gold medal champion is now undefeated with 8 consecutive victories, 7 by KO. He's already ranked as high as number 8 in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of East LA, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Okay, man. Unring, man. Okay, man, you were giving me instructions earlier this afternoon. I want you to give me a good, clean fight. If you have any questions, or shake hands now and come out fight.
This is one of the few times when I feel I ought to be climbing into the ring before the first bell rings, Jim.
In other words, you're anticipating a possible first-round knockout?
Well, it is possible, but on the other hand, you know, Carter is a streetwise kid from Detroit, and maybe he's got something we don't know about.
In case you're interested in which fighter appears to be more warmed up, it is Carter who is dry. Oscar De La Hoya, who has broken a sweat early as they go into round number 1. De La Hoya is regarded as an outstanding combination puncher who does not waste many shots. So far, he uses the jab more as a rangefinder than as a weapon. Renaldo Carter sees himself as a tough counterpuncher who can go at De La Hoya, particularly with the left hand. Left to the body a little bit low by Carter. No warning from referee Chester Como. So far it is Carter who's the aggressor. De La Hoya starting slowly, picking his spots, you might say, though he hasn't picked many of them so far. Right hand over the top lands for De La Hoya. Carter counters with a right of his own. Neither fighter very busy, but Carter is the busier of the two as we reach the midway point of round 1. De La Hoya again led with the right over the top. And again. Stood still and allowed Carter to get him to the body, but obviously Oscar believes he's going to land that right hand effectively over the top.
Carter is a little quicker than De La Hoya may have expected. Good head movement, posing a problem right now.
Carter moving mostly to his left, apparently to stay away from the De La Hoya left hook. Right hand lands for Little Red Carter. Oscar leaving his hands down after he throws, maybe not prepared for Carter's countering offense. That right hand landed flush. but it didn't stun Carter, and Renaldo comes back with two combinations of his own.
Little Red has already reddened De La Hoya's face.
Figuratively or literally? Left hook lands for De La Hoya, and there you see the De La Hoya power as it momentarily pinned Carter to the ropes. And as we go to the De La Hoya corner, we introduce you to our interpreter working with us for the first time tonight, Hector Garcia.
Two counters?
Good. Come on, come on. Keep working. You start with your right and finish with your left.
There's the high right and the uppercut with the left by De La Hoya. He seems a little impatient between rounds because he didn't do enough business in that first round.
The first round, according to punch-stat numbers, a miss-a-thon. Carter threw 55, landed only 11. De La Hoya threw 39, landed only 9. So both fighters a little bit tentative as they try to find their way around each other in round number 1. Now the second chapter begins. Short right hand landed inside for De La Hoya. Not a lot of sock behind it. Carter remains the busier of the two at the outset of round 2. Right hand was blocked. Solid right by De La Hoya momentarily stuns Carter. Carter comes back the way he knows how with offense and leaves himself open, but Oscar doesn't go back in. There's the left hook. Just missed. Another right hand lands over the top for De La Hoya. There's a danger as he lands that lead right hand that Oscar will fall to headhunting, but you saw the power in the left hook. And there again, the left hook lands. Carter backs up and backs away. He has stopped throwing as De La Hoya begins to throw the lead right hand over and over again.
If he does that a few more times, it will tend to slow up Carter's jab.
Carter's defense down. That time De La Hoya landing the combination. And Oscar is beginning to penetrate what little defense there is in Renaldo Carter's fight plan. Particularly, Larry, with the lead right hand, and you're right, he's bringing it right over the top of Carter's jab, and now Carter has begun to jab considerably less frequently. Another right hand over the top. And the left hook. No need for body punching right now as De La Hoya tries to target Renaldo Carter. Referee Chester Como, refereed on a card here Thursday night, was very slow to stop fights. So you may see Little Red take some punishment if Oscar gets it going. Right hand landed in the corner. De La Hoya increasingly accurate with these combinations. This is a tough opponent on paper, but it's rapidly becoming target practice as round 2 comes to a close, and Carter goes down as much from exhaustion as from any punching at that moment. Referee didn't bother with the count, and round 2 comes to a close.
That was an impressive round for De La Hoya. The way he pursues an opponent with his kinds of boxing skills is very uncommon at this stage of a fighter's career.
He's got room. He's taller than you are, and you can't beat him like that. Take a deep breath. You gotta get down. Get down. You're pulling out. Run into him with his shoulder. Now, show got it.
Carter gave him some problems in the first round. De La Hoya keeps coming, looking for the answers, finding them.
The voice you hear in Renaldo Carter's corner is that of veteran Detroit trainer Taylor Smith, and you heard him telling him between rounds, you can't give the man that much room. He's taller than you are. So obviously Taylor Smith believes that Carter must go inside somehow. De La Hoya in the second round landed 55% of the punches he threw, 36 out of 66. And now Carter's face is beginning to show the results of that kind of De La Hoya tattoo. Carter trying to find his way inside early in round 3. Well, he's a good listener. He's going to have to punch his way in. He won't be able to get there by lunging. De La Hoya is going to go back to the lead right hand over the top. Carter trying to land his own right hand. Comes to the head and the body. Left hook to the head. De La Hoya landing. Short punches, not a lot of power behind them. But they are bothering Carter because he seems to have no defense for De La Hoya's hand quickness. The two right hands had mustard on them. De La Hoya goes to the body for the first time, and it sets up a right hand that wobbles Carter. A minute and 40 seconds of target practice coming up. Renaldo Carter wobbles to the corner. De La Hoya back to the body again with the left hand. Oscar has discovered that if he brings the left hook to the body, the right hand will be open over the top. Again, De La Hoya cracks to the body with the left hand, and Carter backs up all the way across the ring. Straight right hand again landed for De La Hoya. Carter showing his toughness. He's taking a lot of punishment. Knee down. And this time, referee Chester Como does allow himself to pick up the ringside count.
It looked like a right hand. I'm not sure if it landed flush or if it had to.
Well, there's been such an accumulation of blows to this point, Larry, that Carter is vulnerable to just about anything that lands quickly and directly. Another straight right hand right on the chin. Oscar forgetting the body for just a moment, maybe because he lands the right hand over the top so easily. Now he goes back with the left hook to the body, and again Carter has nothing in return.
Carter has to take some chances and try to hurt De La Hoya. He has to land a big punch somewhere in here to get De La Hoya to back up.
Carter tries to taunt De La Hoya at the end of round 3, but it was a round in which Renaldo took the last was the knockdown. Now, Carter has been down twice. I'm not sure that the trip to the canvas in round 2 was officially scored a knockdown because referee Chester Como never picked up.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, Jim. It was declared a slip.
Well, I think that was a bad call. To me, that one looked to be even more the direct product of punching than what happened in round 3. But at any rate, call it one official knockdown so far. Incidentally, the ring ropes, I should say, are very loose. So when Carter goes back into those ropes, he's not going to find stiff support. There's every chance he could go right through and out of the ring. De La Hoya focusing now with more concentration on getting the left hand to the body. And when he does, it sets up the open right hand shot over the top. Right cross wobbles Carter again. point, Carter knows what's coming. He knows that the right-hand lead is going to be there. Oscar just delivers it so quickly that he's unable to defend himself. Left to the body, right and left to the head. Carter counters with a left and then tries a right cross but misses. That time he lands the right cross on the shoulder.
There's a look in the eyes of De La Hoya of a young man with tremendous ambition. Tremendously focused. And quick.
In his amateur days, it was impossible to see if there was a mean streak to go with all that talent. But I think, Larry, we are beginning to see it. When he cut Troy Dorsey in round one in Vegas a couple months ago, he told us that he began targeting the eyes immediately and looked for more blood. Now he has Renaldo Carter in more trouble with 30 seconds to go in round four.
I think that ambition in boxing implies a mean streak. You can't play this game if you don't have it.
Well, he seems to all the world such a gentle, sweet kid that you wonder if it's there in his character. But certainly in the ring, he is becoming more and more. Round 5 begins. And Carter has done pretty well to get this far, because after a slow first round, it has been a 3-round reign of terror for Oscar De La Hoya, who has now landed 53% of his 242 attempted punches in the fight, a lot of them power punches. Harold Letterman, very quickly, how do you have the fight scored through the first 4?
Jim, 3 rounds to 1, 39-36, Oscar De La Hoya. Give him an extra point in the third round for the knockdown.
My sentiment is exactly, Harold.
A little bit slower for Oscar De La Hoya in the first minute of round 5. He has been the 8-round distance in his career. He's never gone past the 8th round. The one fight in which he did not score a knockout was an 8-round tour against Mike Grable on April 6th of this year. Responsible for the knockdown.
Hey! And he had the attitude in that knockdown. I think I've had enough of this kid. He's proved it to me.
Solid right over the top. Carter in trouble in the middle of the ring. Tries to fight back wildly, leaving himself open. De La Hoya intelligently goes back to the body with the left hook, and then comes upstairs with the left hook and lands. One of the toughest things for young fighters at the developmental stage of an Oscar De La Hoya is learning how to finish. He certainly shows that he has the patience. Does he have the punching power to make himself effective in these situations where his opponent is in trouble and might be finished off?
He definitely is not a one-punch knockout type of fighter from what I can see, but he is fighting a tough kid who's quite experienced and is a good opponent for this stage of his career. He asked some questions of De La Hoya in the first round that perhaps De La Hoya hadn't been asked before. De La Hoya has answered them the way you would want him to.
Renaldo Carter has been knocked out twice in his career, both of them technical knockouts. One at the hands of Daniel Garcia, the other Hector Lizarraga. They were years ago. It's been more than 3 years now.
He's in the corner of a man who's having a hard time. Nothing wrong with that, is there, Jim?
I think Taylor Smith was correct in suggesting that De La Hoya had tired a little bit at the end of round 5. Let's see if Oscar can regain his energy in round 6 now. Carter's commitment to the bout clearly waning. What can De La Hoya do to accelerate that particular mental process? Now, as was the case in round 1, Little Red Carter comes out the busier fighter to begin round 6. Missing, but throwing. De La Hoya savage to the body with the left hook. Oscar looks and looks and looks, and then either throws the left hook to the body or the right cross across the top, depending on which way Carter goes with his defense. De La Hoya told us in our meeting with him that he would chop Carter down. Body first, head second. No sign so far that the left hand is bothering De La Hoya. When he has committed to the left hook to the body, he's gone ahead and thrown it with vigor. Right hands again landing across the top. Carter showing some courage and commitment by hanging in here. He's here as an opponent. He is expected to go down, and he goes down again.
There's a minute to go. I don't know if he has a minute left in him.
Third knockdown of the bout. Carter looking for another place to fall on the canvas as De La Hoya attacks again. This should be stopped. It should be stopped, and it will be. Oscar De La Hoya with an impressive 6th-round technical knockout in his debut appearance on HBO.
Impressive, Jim, because of the way he went about it. He had a difficult first round, didn't let it bother him, did what he does best, and was very patient about it. Very positive, very patient, let the knockout happen, didn't overextend himself to make it happen.
It took him 2 or 3 rounds, Larry, to remember to go to the body, but once he did go to the body with the left hook, he was utterly dominant from that point on.
Well, he was fighting a little guy, and sometimes I guess the tendency is, how do I get down there? This guy is so little, and it's going to go. But he straightened Carter up, I think, as the fight went on, and made Carter vulnerable. And the very fact that he went to the body tells you something about how many rounds this kid has fought, if not as a professional, in the gym since he's turned professional, and in all of those many...
Calls a halt to the bout. The official time, 2 minutes and 10 seconds of round number 6. The winner by TKO victory, his record now 9-0. 8 KOs, the still undefeated pride of East LA, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
So there